on empowering innovation and for sustainable tomorrow. But before then, I would like to invite Mrs. Raji to present his short citation. Mrs. Raji. DJ, please, we may need you close by to keep us alive. Yeah.
Is it online?
Yes.
So while we are waiting for the next presenter to get things ready, like I said, yes, DJ. Like I said, all of us here, we are here to learn, to network, and get educated, particularly on innovation, entrepreneurship, and so much more. So please, let's try as much as we can to be risk takers. Take risks, volunteer yourself, and contribute whatever skill you have. Because there was a story also I told students when we were doing service presentation. One of our students recommended that the companies where they are doing their IT, they are exploiting them by using them for free without paying them. I said, no, that is a wrong perception. Anywhere you found yourself, make yourself available. Offer what you can do for free. There will be a time when they will offer to pay you to get what you were offering them for free. And before the end of the presentation that day, another student came and presented, and he told us that the company where he served during his service told him that to come back for employment after his degree. So you can see the differences now. So any opportunity you see, make yourself available, try and offer whatever skills you have, and then you will see the results beautifully. So please permit me to call on Mrs. Raji to present the short citation of our next speaker, Mr. Olabisi Yaya. Mrs. Raji, please come forward.
Great Nigerian students. My name is Mrs. Raji Oye-Ekiti. I'm here to read the presentation of one of our guest speakers, Mr. Olubunmi Yaya. Mr. Olubunmi Yaya is a business analyst and design thinking facility with over 5 years of experience. His passion lies in understanding the needs of both users and businesses and translating those needs into effective digital solutions. He specializes in agile methodologies, user-centered design, and meticulous requirement gathering. His goal is to ensure that the product he helps create not only meets business objectives, but also provide exceptional user experiences. With a master's degree in disaster and risk management from the National Defense Academy and certification as an enterprise design thinking practitioner from IBM, he brings unique and well-rounded perspective to his work. Today, he will be sharing insights on empowering innovation for sustainable tomorrow, and he looks forward to a fruitful discussion. Please, let's give a round of applause for our guest speaker.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Olubunmi Shittu. Today, I'll be speaking on they are able to leave it up projection board there. So today I'll be speaking on empowering innovation for a sustainable tomorrow. And now this is going to be coming from my own context as a business analyst and a UX designer. I don't know, have you met anyone that is a business analyst? Do you have any idea of what they do? Okay, that's interesting. Okay. So basically, what a business analyst does, they are basically at the intersection of a problem and the business. So what they do is, for a business now, let's say you are a business, and let's say, for example, you are selling coffee or rice or whatever, and you keep having backlogs of people on the queue, trying to come in and they can't place order. Now, the business would reach out to a business analyst and say, look, I keep having long queues. I mean, long queue is a good thing. It's not like I think it's a bad thing. I mean, that means you have businesses coming to patronize you. But now, there are ways you could have been able to streamline those order processes if there was technology that has been introduced to the business. So, for example, the business analyst would then come, would analyze the concept of what is happening, would draw out a needs assessment of what the business is facing, then they can then come up with a technical specification of how they can solve that problem that they're having as a backlog. So the solution could be, okay, let's create an app where people can place order and we can ship them out instead of them having to come to the store. So those are the kind of angles that the business analyst will come from. And today I will be focusing more on sustainable tomorrow. So to start with first, we look at what is the meaning of innovation. I mean, it's a word that is thrown around a lot. And what I notice is that for most parts, when we throw words around a lot, sometimes we lose the meaning. Sometimes we don't even understand what it means. Can anyone try to define what innovation is for me? Please, just try. Innovation. What do you understand by innovation?
Innovation is about using existing materials to bring something to life.
Innovation is the process of generating new ideas.
That's just what innovation is, basically. You are looking at how things have always been done, and you are trying to come up with new ways of doing it. So it's just you trying to take ideas and methods and use it to create new opportunities from the situation. So for example, now you guys are in the school here, you probably have different kinds of pain points that you are going through. And for most part, you guys will mostly just complain about it. You just lament about it and they should do that, they should do this. But one thing you guys don't know is that like amongst you, and you guys are quite lucky that you have like an org like the innovative org. Amongst you can sit and say, okay, how can we come up with ideas to solve this problem that we've been having? It could be anything as submitting assignments. It could be anything as even making payments. I remember when I was in school then, for you to make payments, you literally have to come down to the school, you get the seat. But now, I'm pretty sure you guys can log into a portal, make payments, can check history of, so these are innovative ways of solving problems, taking out ways to do it before that is, kind of like not working, and we are looking for new ways to do it. So, just as all the old speakers had said, you guys are very, very lucky. I wish I had something like this when I was in school. Because what it does is, it makes you guys critical thinkers. You are not just whether you're studying fine arts, you're studying physics. That's fine. But you are now able to confidently ask questions, provide solutions. You don't just, you are not, how would I put it, you are not busting based on your expertise alone. Your thinking is wider. And I'm really happy that you guys are being able to have this opportunity to attend some of all these
programs. So today, we're looking at sustainability. So sustainability basically just means coming up with ideas that will start prosperity. Basically, that's what I just feel it means. Like, it will start prosperity. Like, it's not just you building ideas that will only make money. Even when you're gone, the earth, your neighbors, your brothers, your sisters, they will always be able to benefit, from such ideas. An example that I would like to make is, I think like last week or so, I was reading an article about data centers in Iowa in the United States. It's owned by Microsoft. So the neighbors around, they keep complaining that during peak hours, they don't have water because it takes a lot of water to cool the servers that we all have. You probably use AI and use all that. It takes a lot of water to cool down those servers. And for each time that those cooling happens, it deprives the people around of that place the usage of water. So they keep complaining, but Microsoft tried to rationalize it and say, but look, we're still creating jobs for people, even though you are inconveniencing, inconveniencing people that are living around. We're still creating jobs for people, and that is an example of building solutions that are sustainable. Now, Microsoft are saying, okay, by 2030, they would come up with new ideas. Maybe perhaps have their data centers like under the water, or they could come up with a new cooling system that will not allow them, to deprive people of water. So, those are the kind of ideas of you coming up with innovations that are sustainable. We are looking at problems around you. It could be waste. It could be agri, it could be, whatever. There are tons of problems. Like the way Nigeria is, we complain about a lot of challenges that we have. We fail to understand that in those challenges lies opportunities. I wish a lot of my friends they jackpot, I would say, but I wish they stayed behind and we work best together and try to see how we can solve some of these problems. But you guys now are probably the future. I don't know whether they'll come back again, but I don't know. One of you here might probably be a president of the country one day or a governor. Ideas that you get from these places, I hope that you take them forth and just push for innovations and sustainability with your ideas and how you can solve problems. So, and as I said, there are challenges in Nigeria, and we have a large population of youths. I think from 15 to almost 64, it's almost like 40-something%. And that's the market. The reason why they keep wanting us to come over there is that most of their youths are going to where it's even warmer, and you have old people that they can't take care of. And that's why in the UK now, when you get to the UK, the system is built in such a way that unless you strategically plan yourself before you go, you will most likely work as a caregiver, regardless of whether you're a manager back here in Nigeria or not. Because that is the pain point that they are having. And they don't even have enough young population. But the young population that they are not even willing to do those jobs. And in our own community that we have there, the concept of taking care of our old people is mostly done, by family. And you don't go to dump your parents in a care home and just pay people to take care of them. You understand? So, but when we can't do that here, but when we get over there, we do lots of jobs that we fail to do here. I find it very, very ironical sometimes. You are here, you can't, you can't do some kind of job because you find it demeaning. But you get there and these are kind of jobs that you are like, searching for. Why not take all those problems that you are facing in Nigeria now and try to see how you can solve them? You understand? So now let me go into my own context as a business analyst. So basically, for a BA, as I said, your job is to clearly define the problem. You are taking that problem, you are understanding why that problem exists, you're understanding the need assessment that company might need, and you are defining, because defining the problem statement might look like something that is very easy to do. But it's not, because if you fail to define that problem very well, you'll be building a solution that is not even a problem. You understand? And when you see how they come together with being a BA and a UX design, you are both at the intersection of whatever technical skills that you are bringing in or whatever solution that you are bringing in. You are at the middle with the business, the user, and the solution that you are providing. So for you to, when you understood that the business needs, you then have to then understand who are the people that would interface, with the system that you are building. There was a time that someone reached out to me on LinkedIn, and they reached out from Zambia. Now, apparently, as of last year, Zambia was having droughts. I think they mostly even have droughts like yearly. So their power supply was very, very bad. If you think we don't have lights in Nigeria, probably up on Zambia, the load shedding was mad. I was like, he told me they gave them like 2 hours in a day. I was like, why? He said because they use hydro electric system, and because of that drought, they can't generate. So now what they are trying to do now is to build a system that allows the users to monitor the kind of what do they call it, the voltage that they are being given to. So they might give you 2 hours a day, but you still have limits to what you can use with that light. So the system is to allow you, even though you are not at home, you can remotely, maybe now you notice that your voltage is going low, what you've been assigned for that day. You can remotely switch off the freezer from anywhere that you are. You understand? Or you're at home and you have nannies with your kids and they are just, using up all the power. You can automatically switch, those appliances off. And I then told him that, like, okay, have you actually done a kind of discovery or done a kind of research on the people that would use, this? He was more focused on the business. But the business, they have more light or more power than the normal citizens. Like for the hospital now, they were having almost like 10, 12 hours light. Businesses, restaurants were having like 6 hours. So when you look at the scale of the problem, it's actually the users that you should be building for, not the business. I don't know if you know what I'm saying. But because they saw the problem from their own perspective, they didn't get on the field, they didn't do any form of research. They just thought, okay, this business will be able to pay for this. And I then told him that, what you are going to do for me, since I'm not down there, I gave him some open-ended questions that, ask people around you. You yourself can even answer that question as a private user. Whatever response that you gave me, it is going to allow me to come up with the kind of solution that would solve, that problem that you're trying to, So it will just be about monitoring voltage. It could be about you being able to, if you have like an alternative energy, you can even contribute back to the grid. And there's a kind of like a net traffic meter that whereby you get points back, you might get money back for lights in the future if you contribute. And that was eventually what we did. And for now, they are trying to get funds from some Chinese company. I'll probably follow him up and find out. But assuming they just went to build that solution with just only the business in mind, and even they've not even interfaced with the business, they've not asked them questions, they've not even find, okay, how are you guys with this load shedding now? How are you guys balancing it? Those guys didn't have problems. They had generators, they had all the other alternative source of power. But the people were the one lamenting. I even went on Facebook, I saw tons of complaints that even the 2 hours we were supposed to give them, they were not having it. I took those screenshots and I shared it with him. And I used those data to convince him with the ones that he has gathered as well. That look, bro, let's build for the users instead of an enterprise system. And I'm very, very positive that I'm going to get that fund. Because we're able to support it with very more data. And what have you? So they said they have 10 minutes to go. Okay, so when it comes to defining the challenge in business analysis, I talked about this assessment. Then the stakeholder analysis. This is you just mapping out the actors that are going to be involved in that solution that you're building. You know, let's say you're trying to build a solution for the school now. The school management are going to be at the top hierarchy of the stakeholders. You understand? You, the students yourself, you are also stakeholders as well too. You know, so understanding what the school wants to achieve, making sure that the solution that you are building aligns with the objective of the school. You know, it makes that solution, you'll be able to get approval easily for that solution. If the school are saying, oh, okay, like we notice waste all around the school and what have you, and sometimes when we try to dispose of this waste, they tell us to, like, you know, what do they call it, separate some of those waste. You separate plastic, you separate paper. You know, they do that in Abuja a lot now. But I've been imagine you could have like AI-backed system that allows you to sort out this waste. They do it in Australia, so it's not impossible. You understand? But sometimes I feel like we always think, oh, this thing is not possible in Nigeria. You know, and we settlers are not using the AI per se, but what they are doing is they are exchanging money for your waste. They are allowing you to bring your waste over to them. They would sort it out and they will give you money for that. You know, all those things happen in even Europe. So requirement elicitation is just basically what I just said. Like, you know, you are gathering the detailed requirements of what that solution entails. There will be some solutions that there will be some requirements that you would probably have to match, remove out from the list of requirements, and you are going to have a prioritization technique. I wish you had a lot of time, but you guys can always reach out to me because you can reach out to me. You know, so just as I mentioned earlier on, you know, you are defining an objective, the scope of what you want to achieve. You've done the feasibility study, you know, and the cost benefit analysis. Yes, it's one part of this analysis technique that you have to also do as well. Then let me go straight to the UX part, because why I want to go straight to the UX is like if you look at OPay, for example, I know a lot of you use OPay, but you will then notice with you and your parents are probably not using OPay. There's a reason why they're not using OPay, because you know the segmentation of the research they've done when they're trying to build OPay has shown that like Gen Zs and in particular age use it more, because you guys are, you know, we are just on the go. Speed, you don't want, how am I sending money to someone and the person didn't receive it? I still have to then reach out to the bank and be complaining. Before you send that money, people will tell you that, look, this network is having issue. Calm down, don't send it yet. You are getting instant feedback. And that's something that most traditional banks don't do. You understand? You reach out to them, it might take you 20, 48 hours before you get that response, but sometimes 2 weeks. You know, so that is you understanding what it means to build for the users and you are recognizing the pain point. Probably if you go to most of these banks' Facebook page or their Play Store or Apple Store or whatever, you see complaints of people. Now, typically, you don't take all the complaints of people and make them the future. You will prioritize it. You know, why are people complaining about this? Why? Like, okay, maybe perhaps you can see how we can implement it. Like what OPay does was, what they did was, they looked at all the people that you guys were complaining about, and they built a system out of it. But it's just transferring money. But why are you guys using it and not? A lot of people store, even Paystack has their own version to Zap. I don't know if you guys have heard about Zap. You know, although they're having some regulatory issues with CBN now, because the license they had was basically to process payment, not to serve as a digital wallet to hold money. So I'm sure it's going to be sorted out. You know, what they are doing is they are just trying to build for the users. They're trying to say, okay, users just want control of how they send money, the kind of feedback they get. I want to know that like money that I've sent is going to go or is not going to go. You know, I don't want to be thinking about it. You know, and when you focus on user-friendly solutions, you know, like accessibility, Accessibility is one particular aspect that I find very funny in Nigeria. You go to banks and you don't even have ramps for wheelchairs. Are they saying people that are crippled, sorry, like or differently abled, can't come to the bank? I've been to one bank in Oye-Ekiti. The guy had to stay outside and someone had to be going inside the bank to help him transact. Because there was no way he could go into the bank because there was no ramp. So, you are building things that you're not thinking about the people that you're building for. Or you are building in your own work sort of mindset. So what I implore you guys as students to do is, just as they mentioned about entrepreneurship, because the future is creation of job by yourself. You can be a job that will hire people. Don't just think about yourself as, okay, I have to go and get that job. There are problems in Nigeria, and where problems are, those are where opportunities are. You find out that foreigners come from abroad and you wonder, what are they doing in Nigeria? That should answer a question for you. What are they doing in Nigeria? Why would someone leave the country that we are trying to go and come here to come? You understand what I'm saying? So amongst you guys, whether it's departmentally, whether it's hostel wise, you group yourself. Think about you guys keep complaining about daily. You have the support of the school, you have an IO, think about it. Try and define the problem statement. As I said, define problem statement. But that's the most important part. You have to, when you then define it, you can then start asking your other friends. That's you doing user research. So I'm trying to collapse everything into, that's you doing user research. We are trying to look at culturally relevant designs that you build. If you are going to build something in the north, you will not have a girl half naked in front of the app. But you might have that in the east or southwest that they are building for. So I want you guys to try and do that. And there's a UI design methodology. It's called double diamond process. It's basically what I've been saying. To understand what their problem is, and we are then trying to define it, getting it right. You guys can also Google this. More critical thinkers and solution providers, instead of just always complete kind of program. It was my lecturer. I don't know, Professor David. Like his energy was infectious. I wish I had that kind of energy. You understand? If I had lectures like that, I could meet him and talk one-on-one. The Lord that I had a dad that I could talk to, but probably not everyone that has that. Gather yourself around. There will be someone around you, business analyst, product management, concepts, and things that you do. First time I had to work as a business analyst was an alarm system that allows, because I also work in the Federal Fire Service, in the PRS department and the IT department. So we are trying to build an app that would allow people to pick up their phone, report a fire, and we can geolocate them. Because most times when we are trying to meet up with set times that we're giving ourselves in a year, okay, we have to turn out under so minutes. But most times we find that we spend so much time trying to locate where the source of the fire. Sometimes it might be someone just walking about that reported it. But if you are able to report and we can geolocate you, and this has been, they've been doing this since for a very long time. And I told my madam, I said, madam, we have to build for the people. Just a boss can't just, okay, let's build this. You have to understand why are you building it. And that's also, there's a pilot that has been launched in Abuja, and the hopes are they were going to spread around, the country. And also, we have smoke detectors that can also send location. If you have smoke detectors here now, if there's a fire and no one is around, we from our control can say, okay, this fire is coming from this particular hall here in this what do they call it, in the university here. So those are all innovations, and you can only get to that part when you open your mind. You are not scared to, think outside the box. So as I said, I want you guys to come together and look at problems that you are facing in the school. Then try and see how you can, start coming up with ideas. You meet Professor Ayada and, share those insights with him. He's a design thinker too as well, and all of you can be design thinkers. You go to IBM.com, they have design thinking courses that are free. You can start with that first, then as you progress, as you practice them and you get results, you are allowed to proceed to the next step. So you can start with the first stage, try and solve a problem and share your result with IBM. They would push you on to the next phase. You understand? It's going to serve you in life. It's not just to even build sustainable solutions, even for your own life. You can be the entity and you know that they are having a problem, just like the lady that was visiting for a day said. She was writing jam for 6 months, whatever the reason why, but she had an objective of why she needed to come to university. That was her driving force. So motivation could push you as well, but motivation can die. But she was relying on the objective that she has set for herself. Okay, I want to be able to finish school. I want to be able to get a job. I want to, whatever it is. That was what was pushing her discipline. You understand what I'm saying? So, I want you guys to use this opportunity. These are some solutions that from emerging concepts. As I said, we have recyclers, are very popular in Lagos. The accessibility with public services, those are there too as well. You can register for your passport online now. That's them building solutions that will solve problems instead of going there to queue. Renewable energy, that's tons of solar companies in Nigeria. So I don't know. That's basically it. But I want you guys to see how you can reach out to me. You can get my contact from Professor Ayada. I would be more than willing to share more information to you guys, or I'll try to understand your stance, and I can recommend fields that you can even go towards that can allow you to be an entrepreneur by yourself and build solutions that not just only make money, but will live in perpetuity. Like you understand, you are doing this business to make sure that people benefit from it, even when you are dead and gone. So that's my presentation for today. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you very much, sir. That was Mr. Olubunmi Shittu, a system analyst, business analyst, UX, UI designer. I'm not trying to comment on the lecture, but there are two key takeaways that I gained, and I would like to share with the students. He made mention of something earlier in the beginning of the lecture, that whatever you are trying to do, it should be sustainable, which means regardless of your area of expertise, your skill, whatever industry you are, you should try to build a sustainable system. A system that will not affect our surrounding, the environment, and can continue to exist even after you are no more. That is number one. And secondly, he made mention of innovation earlier. And it is a term that sometimes can easily be confused with invention. So I want to carry our students along, and I have a gift, airtime gift, for whoever differentiates between invention and innovation. I want somebody to differentiate between these two terms, and you are going to get airtime gift, invention and innovation. After the count of 2, okay, we have someone there, another one, okay, these 3. Only 3. You can come forward, please. Be fast. We are running out of time. Yes, just 3 of you should come and quickly. You can face the class.
From my point of view, I feel you mentioned your own new idea that you just bring up, but innovation is something that is already existing. And you are bringing up a new idea to modify it. Thank you.
So I feel innovation is, as I said, improving an existing idea. Innovation can also mean like working on bringing new ideas that on things using existing materials to bring out new ideas. Why invention is the materials are not existing, that is bringing the existing ideas and also bringing new ideas.
Awesome. So, according to him, I was able to decode that innovation is when you do something that is already existing, a business idea that is already existing, or a strategic plan that is already in existence. That's what innovation has to do with. Why invention has to do with creating an entirely new idea. So when I was talking about recyclers in Lagos, I actually know recyclers. So the thing with recyclers is that they bring out, they get people to do waste and they give them money in return. And what they do with those waste is what they call upcycling. So when they upcycle waste, the result is that they actually get to tell you that they can bring out a way from air from plastics. So that is like an invention. It is not an innovation. So everyone will actually not believe you are getting the chef material from the bottles. But with innovation, we can just say you are putting plantain instead of putting it in a nylon like a bakery, then you are putting it in a plastic to actually market it.
Thank you very much. Please, another round of applause for them. They are all correct. They have gotten a gift of airtime each, MTN airtime. So please. Yes. Permit me to move on to the next item on the agenda. But before then, I want to say something very quickly also. Between invention and innovation, which one do you think is much easier? Innovation, because almost everything we wanted to do has already either been done or is in existence, but we can always improve it. So please, let's try and be innovative. Okay, the next item we have on the program is panel discussion. There is interview of successful entrepreneurs, and I would like to call on Dr. Adebimpe Ishan, the Director of Entrepreneurship, to handle the session. Thank you, and please a round of applause for her as she comes to the podium.
Protocols to be observed. Greatest Nigerian students. Greatest Nigerian students. I want to commend you for participating in this program, and I hope you have been enjoying every bit of the program. Yes or no? Yes or yes? Don't worry, refreshment is coming. Okay? We are prepared for you. So this session, we want to interview all entrepreneurs seated here. We are going to call on them. So that you can gain from their experience. So the first person, we're going to be having a panel discussion. So the first person is Dr. Adetunji Omodijo. He is the CEO of Sunshine Global Medical Center. Please stand up for recognition, sir. Also, we have Engineer Akinyode Victor. He's the CEO of Vinod Technologies. Unfortunately, he's an alumnus of FUOYE. A round of applause for him. You look like him, he has a very small stature. But when he starts talking, you will know that he has a lot to offer you. Also, we have Mrs. Owajoba Busayo, the CEO of the Elegance Expertise Palace.
step forward. We have Dr. Adedara, the CEO, Pen and Podium Nigeria Limited. So we also have the CEO, King David Leadership Academy, is also going to be one of the entrepreneurs that will be interviewed in this panel. So thank you very much. I'll be very brief, but please, our CEOs, you know you have a lot to offer us, but we will just give you 5 seconds to attend to the questions we'll be asking you. So briefly, we want to share your entrepreneurial journey. We want to know what motivated you as an entrepreneur, or let me just say, tell us the story. I'll start from Mrs. Owajoba. Tell us the story, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, you can. Or you can be seated. Whichever one. Just
yes, I would like to address this and Miss Owajoba.
Okay.
I'm a fashion designer. My fashion in Oye-Ekiti. I'm also the convener of the fashion exhibition, the only fashion show in the city. They gave us, I'll give you 5 seconds. I don't know how that is going to stop it. I don't know. But the journey is a little bit, 5 seconds. The journey is a little bit far. But I want to say I discovered myself. Before becoming an entrepreneur, the first thing you must do is search yourself. Self-discovery is the most important thing. What are the things you can offer? I actually graduated from University of I think that's expo now, but I decided to stay because I saw a lot of gaps in fashion industry between Ekiti and Lagos and there, because my parents were based in Lagos. I was supposed to relocate back to Lagos, but I decided to stay. And a lot of people were saying they cannot say sew from fashion designers in Ekiti State because they don't know anything. So they would rather take their clothes outside Ekiti, And the thing is, the fashion thing itself, let me just say, my story is not, but let me just say, the fashion thing itself has always been something inside of me. When I had business around school area, I actually asked someone that had a fashion store beside me. I was actually selling things, because I struggled a lot. I was just selling all this Okita stuff. But I used to assist the lady to join clothes. When people saw from her, they would just say, listen, we don't have staff. I would just say, don't worry, yeah, pieces. I'll just gather them, help her to just put things together. And then I discovered that this thing is interesting. There's much story to this, but the thing is, the first thing I would just say is self-discovery. What are the things you can do to to change your story, to also make life for yourself? Make things for yourself.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Round of applause for her. The next person, let me ask my question because he happens to be one of our students in computer engineering. He graduated some few years back, and you will hear his story. So, how did you get started as an entrepreneur? And what motivated you to pursue this path?
Okay, let me start off. Great Nigerian students. Once a playwright, forever a poet, right? What motivated me, thank you so much for this opportunity. What motivated me to start entrepreneurship basically was from childhood, all right? My mom sells onions, so I've been in business since I was like age 10, 11. So, but then I realized that we faced problems. And one of the major problems we faced then was that we make money, but we don't know how the money disappeared, right? So then once I was privileged to get into the university, and after that I began to build software because I studied computer engineering. So I began to build software and freelance for businesses. And at a point in time, I noticed the same problem because the businesses I was building software for were facing the same issues. So then after that, I decided to create my first company, which is the Technologies. And the companies I was building for, and even myself that was building the company, I still face the same issue. All right. So and that led me into building tailor-made, which is the AI-powered financial assistance for businesses and individuals that we have today. So one thing that summarizes my story is that champions eat challenges for breakfast. Whatever challenge you are facing right now, you are facing it because you are a solutionist, all right? You should be able to provide solution to that problem. My journey is long, but I would just like to make it short. Just have it in mind that you are a champion, even if you can consume and eat challenges as your breakfast. Thank you.
Maybe I should ask another question so that just very fast pace. So, Dr. Adikara, how did you identify viable business opportunities? And what tools do you use to spot gaps in the market? You are the CEO, Pen and Podium Nigeria Limited.
Now, the first thing, what I do mostly, I want to identify problems that I come with research. I do a Google form to know where, know the problem. And whatever I have in mind, I look at, for me to know if that business will sell, I have to come up with a survey. Either a Google form or a paper survey or face-to-face question and answer. The moment I'm able to do that, then I just go straight into the business.
Thank you, sir. Sir, the CEO, King David Leadership Academy, he has an announcement to make. Maybe I will permit him to make it now before we proceed. He said he has a gift for the first runner up of a one-day Vice-Chancellor award. So he wants to do a giveaway. Then he also has a stand there. He has some things he wants to say. Maybe I should permit him to say this while he's answering this question. Tell us your story, sir.
It's quite long. Good afternoon. Before I start my story, I want to appreciate the lady that came up the other time. She did quite great. From the King David Leadership Academy, we train, we mentor, we empower. Right here today, we have at least 3 of our students from King David Leadership Academy who are fully sponsored for FUOYE. Fully sponsored in FUOYE. And again, we saw what the lady did. The last speech she delivered, that's leadership. Public speaking, delivering content. She knows where she's going, and we want to support her. So we'll be giving her a token, a scholarship of 100,000 naira. Journey is my story. My journey is the journey of self-discovery. And I will still talk a little about this in my speech, so I think I should just hold it. But once you discover yourself, you are impossible to be stopped in your generation. Thank you.
So, on to the CEO, Sunshine Global Medical Center. What is your motivation? You started the hospital. What motivated you? What inspired you to start the hospital?
Good afternoon, everyone. So great to be here. For me, my story is I needed money and I cannot beg. And because I couldn't beg, I felt I need to increase my income. Number 2, I discovered that my needs were many, and people looking up to me were many, and my resources are limited. I decided to increase my resources. Number 3 reason for what drove me into entrepreneurship is because I just wanted to help people. I just want to help people. I feel satisfied when I see people say thank you. And so I thought of what I could do to make people say thank you, and I invested into it. Not only that, I wanted to create a map, make a map, create a niche, bloom where I am planted, and make a difference in the land. Today, if I walk through Ado-Ekiti now, everywhere I go, sunshine. Some people don't even know my name, but they know sunshine.
This question will be directed to Ms. Owanjoba. So, what's the toughest decision? The toughest decision you have ever made, and how did you approach it as an entrepreneur?
Yes, let me say, starting my own personal business, that's the elegant experience with us, was not even the most challenging part of it, of my life. The most challenging part was when I started the fashion show. I thought it was something very simple. That you just gather people, once you tell people like this that we want to showcase design, or that people will start coming and all that. And I had a particular woman, and unfortunately, I'm the kind of person that doesn't really know people. I don't have friends. My business is my friend. I only have few friends. You can't impart my life, you cannot be my friend. So I select. So I had this particular woman, she's outspoken, she knows people and all that, and I relied on her. I thought, oh, I'm going to bring the funding part of it. I'm going to pay some designers and speak to some designers so that they'll come and showcase their brand, even for free, because that was the first time. So I relied on this particular woman that she was going to put people for me and all that. Then she was going to take her designs. But unfortunately, 3 weeks to the event, I started calling her. She started. She left my van. I didn't know much people. I didn't know that fashion business was going to. Fashion show was going to, got so much money. And I want to tell you, as I tell you that I just won 120,000 naira. The guy that came to, I'm just the type of person that I go for things that are very difficult. Yes, I love to challenge. I love challenges. Challenge me, I will go for it. Even I tell my students, go for styles that you know that it's difficult for you to bring it to. That's my lifestyle. So I went for it. Even the person that came, I started telling people, please, I need somebody that can help me to plan this thing. The guy that came said he was going to collect 100,000 naira. 100,000 naira, and I have 120. How am I going to pay for the video guys and all that? I had the kind of spirit. I got to do things. I thought some people I had around me was going to have the same kind of spirit. But no, there was big disappointment. And this particular woman that I relied on, we actually attended the same church. I'm a winner. The woman sent me a text that I'm sorry, I cannot be part of your show. The only person I thought was going to, help me talk to people, bring up people, because she's a little bit influential. And she turned me down. Thank God it was on the Sunday. I had danced the church and all that. When I saw the message, my hands were shaking. It was as if I didn't have blood in my veins and all. But I thank God, I didn't back down. It was so funny. The publicity was everywhere, and I was like, how do I do it? Who do I know? But thank God that I was not. I think I met a guy. His old school daughter was my old school daughter. So we met the lady introduced us in school area. But I met him at Portofino in Ado-Ekiti. I was supposed to just greet him and leave. But something just asked me to just still approach him. Thank God that I was not proud to ignore him. I approached him. And 1 minute greeting, not to 3 hours greeting. 3 hours meeting. Everybody I needed for the event came to that particular point. Before then, it was as if I should not have to state. But thank God he showed up. So thank you very much.
So the next question is going to the CEO of Digital Technologies. How do you handle failure and setbacks?
Wow.
And what do you think is the key to bouncing back?
Okay. Thank you so much for that. How I handle failure is that I try to remind myself of the why. Why am I doing this thing? All right. So the moment I know the reason why I'm doing it, that alone is enough to propel me forward. So at that point in time, once I've failed, I try to review how I've done it. I pick my lessons from it, and I don't dwell on it. So then, for me to bounce back, I sometimes have to remind myself at the same time of the things I've done that I was successful at. Then I'll be like, Victor, you did it. As an undergraduate, you finished with the first class. You are not a failure. You did this, you did this, you did this. So that sort of, try to remind me of, the kind of capacity I have that I'm not a failure. Like this just happened for me to take my lesson from it, and then I go. So, but I ensure that I review it, I document my lesson so that such a thing doesn't repeat itself.
Thank you. The next question goes to the CEO, Penam, Nigeria Limited. How do you assemble and manage a team? And what qualities do you look for in a team member?
Thank you very much. Now, I remember in 2019, somebody enlisted me as one of the business group for Oye-Ekiti. And the task was to organize events in Oye-Ekiti. And that was the only people business group for this area. Now, and to do that, I had to look for partners. I have to go to this the Small and Medium Scale Business Association. I got the chairman. They also contacted the president of another group. I think about 2 or 3 groups. After contacting the president of these groups as partners, then just like I told you earlier on, I made a Google form for people who will be ready to work in different departments with their skills. A lot of people showed up and started a meeting. At the end of the day, we were able to host the program in 2019 as AB Foundation at that particular time. Since then, I've been able to discover that when you are starting a business, the first set of people you need is your partner. Just like she mentioned, after your partner, then you look at those people that we are in charge of different committees. Then after that, you are with your idea, roll out the program. Thank you.
Next question goes to Prince Adebili. How has your leadership style evolved over time? And what do you think are the most important qualities for a leader?
I will begin from the last question. One of the most important qualities of a leader, number one, is ability to communicate clearly. When you have ideas and you don't know how best to communicate it, the best thing that you have put together will actually work well for you. So one key principle in leadership is communication. And that is why one of the keys we said at the King David Leadership Academy is the communication skill. For you to succeed in whatever walk of life, whether as a leader or even a team player, you need to learn how to speak. Speaking is so key to building quality relationships. Now coming to my leadership, I believe that leadership for me is quite innate because I was the first born in the family, so naturally I was leading the pack. Then when I got out of home, I discovered that everywhere I got to, even when I'm trying to hide myself, some things will force me to be discovered. I don't want to be seen, I don't want to talk to people, or somebody will locate me and say, you have something inside of you, come out here. And then I remember when I was on campus, from pre-degree I started leading in the fellowship, till I graduated. When I went for service, I was president of my CDS group. Then I was at the same time the president of my fellowship. I was at the same time president of the youth fellowship. So a number of things like that. Because I discovered when I was in undergraduate that I was supposed to teach in my life. So I came up with this idea. I walked up to the then VC, Professor Olubunmi. I talked to him about this idea I had, and he told me, he helped me walk through it. And he said, when you get to service, make sure you bring it right. Little did I know that some things are going to just make it happen. As I got to the service here, a number of things just happened, and the execution of this idea began. Before I know what was happening, people were coming from different places to support that vision, and that vision led to the birth of my first organization, the School of Public Speaking
and entrepreneurship. So for me, from that time till now, I've continued to grow in leadership. I cannot say presently I'm the president of the Young Professionals. To God be the glory, Young Professionals Forum in the state. I am. So for me, leadership has been innate, and God has helped me to grow that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. So the last step is the question to Dr. Omonijo. How do you keep your team motivated and productive? You have people working in your hospital, working for you. So how do you keep them motivated? How do you keep them productive as an entrepreneur?
One thing I've discovered in my journey as an entrepreneur is that there are 4 things you need. You need money, you need men, you need materials, and you need mindset. For money, of course, to be an entrepreneur, you need to do what is called IPC, income possibility circle. You must always learn to draw income possibility circle to get men, and to get materials, and to get money. Now, men, to get men and to keep men motivated. One thing I've learned is that when you invest in people, people will invest in you. If you don't plant a seed in people, you can't get anything back. One thing I do for my staff is that I give them incentives. I train them, I develop them, expose them to training, and I get back results. When you give people things, you invest in them a lot, you give them incentives, definitely they will respond to you positively. That's my style. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Wonderful. Incentive to your staff to keep them motivated. So we want to be going to we are moving to the end of this session. I'll direct this question to Ms. Owajoba. What strengths do you think are most important for entrepreneurs to be aware in your industry, in the fashion industry? So there are some students here who are also fashion designers, who are proposing to be fashion designers. So in that line of business, what trend do you think are most important for entrepreneurs to be aware in your industry?
Thank you, ma'am. First of all, I would like to say fashion is wide. Fashion is not just about cutting and sewing. Even as a makeover, you are into fashion. You fix nails, you sell fabrics, you are not a rare person, and you do what is shirt on that neck, photo shirt and all that. You are into fashion business. Right. Okay. So I would like to say, as a student, I don't know how many fashion designers you have, and maybe you have been training and all that. Thank God for the opportunities that university have created. I would like you to, if you are so much interested in fashion, okay, pick your own area. It is not necessary that you see people sewing. You see Vicky James. Vicky James is creating and all that. She's making big money, and because of that, you want to jump into it. I tell you, you are going to make a big mistake. Okay, like I had a particular student in my fashion school. This lady she had passion of sewing and all that, but I discovered that she doesn't have the capacity. Okay, she doesn't have what it takes. And I tried to give her, advice and all that. I studied that. I said, this girl, there's no, even if I should open your brain and put your clothes inside, you are not going to know it. It's not a cost. But I'm still, as a leader, you have to know the kind of people you are dealing with and all. I said, the only thing I can see about you, I said, you are good at the calculations, the mathematics, one of the selling fabrics is also fashion. Okay? Then while you are still here, you can venture into fashion business, even while you're still studying. I tell you, so look into any area that you know that you are fitting and you fit. If you want to start sewing, you can start right from your room with just one machine. Okay? If you want to go and you're interested in a makeover or something, please venture venture into it, you can start so low. In fact, fashion is the most simplest, and is the cheapest business in fashion. I mean, sorry, as an entrepreneur, that you can easily venture and start as a business without having too much money. Okay, it's not that things are expensive now. Maybe when I started with just one machine. Somebody gave me 18,000 naira and I got my machine. And now I have about 12 machines in my organization. Okay, so because that was my own area of interest, don't copy others. Just look for your own area where you fit in, then go into it and start with whatever you have. Thank you.
This question will be directed to Prince David. What advice would you give to new entrepreneurs just starting out?
My simple advice is start from where you are. We always think about lofty ideas. I want to become this, but there is something you can do right where you are right now. About the problem, the young man that spoke the other time was talking about pain points. There are some issues around you that you are trying to deal with that you are complaining about. Pick those issues, start doing something about it, and you can open doors for greatness.
Thank you, sir. A round of applause. Where you have. I will direct this to Dr. Adegara. How do you approach personal development and what habits have contributed to your success? Personal development.
Now, what I do mostly is every month I make sure I buy books. And in my library, I have more than 300 books. When I say 300, that's understatement. Why? Because most times when I need someone to tell me something and I find it difficult to get answer, I'll just go to the bookshop. I started reading books. Immediately I finished my secondary school. The first book I read was How to Win Friends and Influence People. Then after that, I read How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. So from there, in some of the books at the back there, the books of Robert Greene, I have about 3 or 4 copies of those books. And I make sure I keep them. That's a book I have on money. And what I do is this, I make sure that I develop myself in that area. Secondly, now I make sure I attend conferences. Conferences, not just conferences, academic conference, but different conferences. When I was living in Lagos, I usually check the pages of the newspaper to see seminars, workshops that will take place at Museum Center, the National Theatre, and all that. I make sure I attend. That was a particular one I attended. It was a book there. And getting to that place, I met those people selling books, and I told them I can help them to sell the books, and they made me part of their the people that will be giving books to. And apart from that, in June this month, there's a program going on in Lagos, which I have to attend. I make sure I join associations like the National Association of Small and Medium State Business. I'm part of that. And apart from that, I make sure I research to see the people in my field or in the areas I want. I'm the National Director for Word and Writing Contest, and I'm also the Vice President for Computer Teachers, the Teachers Association in Nigeria. What I do is that I make sure I look for what I want. You know, sitting here, I'll be able to contact some of the people I have here to get their contact. I want to push it to you. How many contacts do you have with this group? Now we have about 50,000. Somebody mentioned. Do you have 2,000 people from different faculty in your phone? Thank you.
That's a challenge. See, of this, one of the objectives or one of the aims of this program is networking. Some of our students from the college, we brought them down here this morning. Just that you can network, you will hear from industry experts. What you are being taught in the classroom is not enough. And that is why a program like this is very, very good at this time. So try as much as possible to network. These guest speakers, they are people their fathers and their mothers, get their contact. You can, please, sir, can you mentor me? I'm into fashion design. I'm a startup. Walk up to her, and I'm very sure she will render whatever help she has to offer for you. So I want to throw another question before we take the last one. I want to direct this question to Dr. Omonijo. How do you plan for growth and scaling in your business? And what strategies have worked for you?
Well, for me, scaling up my business and growth, I discovered that leaders become leaders. And those who lead, they are those who lead. And those who lead are those who become what? Leaders. So if I want to have a leading business, I must lead to develop that business. So I read a lot to expand the growth of my business. Number two thing I do is that I make sure that I have mentors in business. Mentors in business. People that I look up to that help me to scale up. People that have gone ahead of me, that I want to be like them, to surpass them. I look for mentors in business. Then number three thing I've always told myself is that if you say to yourself you can, then you can. Also, if you tell yourself you cannot, then you will not. So my slogan is, I can do all things. I can be the best. Finally, one thing I've done that has helped my business to scale up is that whatever new thing I learn, I start now. If you have learned any good thing today, when do you start? Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Lastly, the question will be directed to Engineer Victor Bakio. Where do you see your business in the next 2 to 3 years?
Okay, thank you so much.
You are a young entrepreneur, and I'm happy that I am a lecturer. I'm happy that you are doing good in business. So I want to hear from you.
Okay, so I'll quickly start from here. So currently we are in conjunction with the largest bank in Africa, which is Access Bank. So we are partnering with them, and we are expanding into Ghana and Kenya and Nigeria. And beyond that, we want to, in the next 3 years, we want to ensure that we are automating financial activities for about at least 300,000 businesses in Africa. And then for individuals, because currently we have about 10,000 individual users and about 700 businesses right now. So in the next 3 years for individuals, we want to be dealing with like 10 million individuals. And then we want to ensure that we are digitizing this for them and then generating revenue from them. And beyond that, I want to start seeing my employees already doing well in their respective fields, to at least holding great positions, ensuring that they deliver values to the community, just as the same way our business is doing. Thank you so much. So I'm pleased let me celebrate that. She taught me, I mean, it's not easy now. Let me celebrate that.
Thank you for that. You know, when as a lecturer, the joy of being lecturers is seeing your students do well after graduation. And that is why we are preparing you. So that when you graduate, white collar job or no white collar job, you are doing very well in your business. Put a round of applause for yourself. In the next 1 to 3 years, I'm seeing you in high places in Jesus' name. So, on a final note, just 1 second, give your advice to these students. 1 second. Please, each person will give a final advice. Just, in fact, maybe I should say in 3 words.
Okay, I said it earlier. Discover yourself.
Okay, thank you.
Never overrate professional intelligence.
Wow.
look for mentor to mentor you in your area of expertise. Excellence is the symbol of your competence. Strive for excellence. Whatever you have learned, start now.
Thank you very much, Dr. Adebimbe, for sharing the panel discussion on interview of successful entrepreneurs. I was actually very, very excited. Yeah, because I learned a lot from the panel discussion. And thank you so much. Please, another round of applause to appreciate our panelists. So we are continuing with the keynote presentations, and our next presenter is Dr. Adedara Marcos, the CEO of Pen and Podium Nigeria Limited. Please, you have 15 minutes for your presentation, sir. Thank you.
You can go on, sir. Sir? You can go on, go on, go on.
On the slide, so that is the basis of why I am here. Dear students, we are excited. I want to read out the content of the slide so that you'll be able to get yourself acquainted to the preview. Okay, while we are waiting for the slide, let me just continue. Now, if you could build a tech-driven business that solves a major problem in Nigeria today, what would it be? And why does it matter to you personally? On daily basis, we scroll through the social media, we scroll through Google space, and you discover a lot of things. But are you willing to take a step? Now, the role of technology in modern entrepreneur. We have seen a lot of businesses coming up, but where's your own? And for that reason, I'm giving opportunity to the top 3 students who will come up with a business name, with a brand guideline, a business plan, and a business model. We will put the bill for the registration with CAC, and we will take you through the process of putting it on the social media until you are able to start on your own. This is very, very important in the sense that if you don't have a company, you cannot start. And whatever the ideas you have, if you don't register it, it may be difficult for you to start. And when you start, you will not be able to get people to assist you as you move along. Please, I want you to just look at it and what you have there. Copy the email address and make sure that you get to us as soon as possible within the next 2 weeks. So we will send you all the templates that is needed for you to be able to have a good business in your areas of expertise. Then we will mentor you, register it with you. I just spoke to my lawyer while I was sitting there and promised to also be part of the process. So it's an opportunity for you. I want you to seize that opportunity so that your company within the next few months will be up there. Thank you for taking action. Now you need to understand the fact that businesses today, if you are going to do it, you need a vision, you need an objective, you need to do something in order for you to be able to forge ahead in the business. Now, apart from that, you need digital transformation. At this junction, I want to ask, how many of you are on LinkedIn? Now, if you have up to more than 1,000 connects, can you raise up your hand? So you can just see 1, 2, 3. Now, on Facebook, if you have about 5,000, raise up your hand. You have more people there. Now, on Instagram, if you have more than 1,000, can you raise up your hand? If you have a banner behind you, you have a banner across your social media, can you raise up your hand? So you can see that majority of us are not actually prepared for this. And if you are prepared, just like we had the story, we need to start now. Now, key driver of digital transformation. Now, just immediately, just a few months ago, we have CUDA. We are this banking 100% banking service. And in Africa, we have M-Visa, and this is still growing. And apart from that, we have some common misconceptions. What are the misconceptions? Digital transformation is only for Silicon Valley startups. No, Junior is Nigeria, and we have a lot of businesses around which you can do today. What are the key technology powering startups? Now, what are the key technology? Number one, we have cloud-based businesses. Cloud-based businesses. We have the Spotify business there, and we also have some of the businesses that are online. But the basic thing is this: which area are you standing? Now, how many of you have books on Amazon? You are public book and is on you wrote a book and it's on Amazon. This is the line. We can just see only just 2 people here. There's one of my mentees. This person happens to be in 300 level. He has made more than 4 million naira on that statement. 4 million naira publishing books on Amazon. So you can start now. And if you want to know how to do it, you can get in touch with us through Dr. Professor. Okay, you can get in touch with them. Then we teach you how to do it just within a day. You do the registration, you get everything set. But if you are going to do it, you have to come very early in the morning so that you're able to get through all the process. And you must have one. You must have you either have the international passport or you have the the Nigerian ID card, then you have a bank account, and some of the things you need to get. So when you contact us, we get everything across to you. Now, the reason why I have to be very fast with this is that the practical aspect of it is the key, not just the lecturing aspect of what you want to do. Now, test your idea with a minimum viable product. Then, before full launch, whatever you want to do, test it. And that's why most times we have pilot tests. If you are doing your projects, if you are doing anything, you have a pilot test. Back then, I started with NCE. And then, immediately I was doing that program, I told myself I want to start a business after my NCE. Now, what's your desire? You know, we have been challenged to start our business, not just to plan to work with an organization, but you can work with an organization to get experience 1, 2, 3 years. After that, you start your own. So this is very, very important, and you must be able to make sure you start. Now, we have the Flutterway, we have the Junior, we have the Rapid, we have the Canva. It is very important for you to know where you want to start and how you want to start. Of course, we have seen some mentors here. How many of you must make sure that you get the contact of the mentor? And how do you get the contact of the mentor? You make sure that you go online. As if a name is mentioned, contact them online. Make sure that you link up with them on LinkedIn. Very important. If they have a website, if they have from there, you contact them. Now, right now, as I was sitting, you know, there are some mentorship programs which I make sure that I have to plug myself into it. And if you do that today, you'll be able to get ahead. Now, the next Flutterways and paid staff director will be in this hall. Will you be the founder who leverages technology in today's Nigeria? You must not limit yourself. Don't limit your belief. Turn barrier into solvable problem. What's the biggest fear or doubt holding you back from starting? How can you use technology like AI, cloud tools, or local assets stories to overcome it? You must make sure that you start today. And starting today is starting now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Please, another round of applause for Marcus. Thank you. And without taking too much of your time, I would like to proceed straight to the next presenter, who happens to be Prince. Sorry. Okay, sorry, there was a little change in the schedule. Okay. We have listened very well to Dr. Adedera Marcus, and I still have few empty airtime to give out. And I want the smart students, maybe 1 or 2 from the either side, to just tell us one key takeaway from the speech of Dr. Adedera. Okay, we have one at the back. Okay, the 2 of you can talk. Please just tell us one key lesson that you learned from the speech. Just one, in few sentences.
So the major thing I learned from Dr. Adedera's speech, having an organization. Because he kept on asking those that are number of so that's your Facebook and also I feel like if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, as much as you have to be able to communicate physically, you also have to have a solid online presence.
Good everyone. One key thing I learned from it is that as an entrepreneur, any idea that you have, any innovative idea that you have, start it immediately. Don't let idea time you. Actualize your idea. Unlock the potential vision. Thank you.
Please, a round of applause for them. Wait to collect your gifts. You have plenty of time. Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause for them as they take their seats back. Okay. The next presenter. The next presenter is Ms. Owajoba Osayo, the CEO of the Elegance Enterprise Expertise Club. You have 10 minutes for your presentation. 10 minutes. All right.
Good afternoon, everybody. I can see you have been sitting for a long time. Can you please stretch out your hands? Stretch it out. It's okay, cool. I have just few minutes to talk on vision. Funding your vision. My name is Owajoba Olubunmi. I'm the CEO of the Elegant Expertise Scholars Home of Fashion and Events. I'm also the convener of the Ekiti Fashion Exhibition. I'm also the convener of Ekiti Young Fashionpreneur Conference. Thank you very much. Lots of time. I will quickly talk about vision because before you start talking about funding, that's to start with vision. Okay, you must first of all discover what your vision is. So, what is vision? Vision is a roadmap to your desired future, reflecting your core values, different desire, and the kind of life you want to create. And I say it again that it is divine insight into your destiny. It is the reason why you were born, and the fire that keeps your soul alive. Without vision, life becomes survival instead of impact. Now, let me ask a question from everybody here. How many people are really studying their desired courses? As the course you had in mind to study in this school, and by the time you were given admission, that is the course that was given to you. Okay? All right, let me say, for those who were not opportune to study the same course that you really aspire to have, hope is never lost. The most important thing is that if there is something inside of you beyond the course you're reading in school, education is very key. Education is beautiful. Education can take you anywhere. If I'm not educated as a fashion designer, I'm sure I will not be standing here talking. Okay? Now, the most important thing is that realizing your vision. How do you do that? Now, have you ever sat down for a day and asked yourself, who are you? What are the things that motivate you? Why were you created? What is your purpose on this planet Earth? Because a lot of people just think, you start primary school, you go to secondary school, you go to university, the next thing is get a white collar job and all that. Do you know that God created you? As a what God put inside of you is bigger than that. I discovered mine. That is why I'm standing here today. I actually studied accounting. Yes. I actually studied accounting. Well, the thing is, we're in an environment whereby, our parents are not so sensitive, it is not an insult, but that's just the truth. In foreign countries, from when you were a child is still chronic, you will discover what the child is likely to become in the future. When I was very small, my sister told me that, when I grew up, my sister told me that when I was very small, that I love to stand in front of mirror, put powder on my face, tie gele on my head, I would wear high heels, I'll be walking around, I'll be sweating like this man's growth and all that, but I will find joy in it. Okay? Those things have been inside of me. And when I grew up, I discovered that everything called beautification is my life. But unfortunately, I studied accounting, but I didn't regret that though, because I'm applying it in my business. All right? But if I had parents who can discover the kind of talent I had from when I was very young, I would have gone for art, not accounting. Maybe study anything related to art and all that, because everything I'm doing right now is purely art.
And years back, I thought about myself before going into fashion. I was actually into event decor. See, I'm going to use my life story to teach you more, because the practical thing is the most important thing. Because the speakers have already said a lot of things, but I went through it. As in, it was rough. I am from a very low, humble background. We live in facing and facing where you have latrine and all that. We went to primary school where you see your friends working deficit, and you go to school with back on your shoulder, that kind of lifestyle. It was a very humble one. But I made up my mind that I'm going to make a difference in my family. Yeah. The day somebody came to my father's house and embarrassed my father publicly, that day I said I'm going to give my father a name in the state. And to the glory of God, God has given me the privilege. Because my business, the Elegant Expo, is a fashion home. Within few months, I said to also add a fashion school. And within few months, I said I'm not just going to be a tailor, sewing pattern on the machine. It's not going to be enough for me. My dream is bigger than that. Then I started the fashion show. Okay? So when you realize your vision, it's not going to be a one-time thing. You have to keep dreaming and keep pursuing. Because if you dream, because the further you can see, is the further it's the further you can hear. If I see the light here, if I put on the light of my phone, it will not really reflect in this place. But if you have a big dream, okay, you dream, you sit down one day and you think about your dream, and your heart beats really very, very fast. That is a dream. That is the vision. If you are sitting down on your home, maybe your background affected you and you think because your parents are not having money, me too, I just want to have a 2-bedroom flat. Let me be able to take care of my family. That is not a vision. You just want to survive. That is life of a survivor. But a true visionary will discover how they can make a change in the environment, how they can be a solution that people are looking for. Are you paying attention, please? All right. How you can be a solution? Because that is what made me stay in the state up to this moment. Like 8 years ago, I looked at the environment. I wanted to relocate back to Lagos. Okay, I was thinking that this place cannot really give me the money I actually needed. But I thought I had so many dreams and all that. Yeah, I met a man at the Boniface the gym, and the man said, when you're growing, somebody have already started what you want to do. But in Ekiti State, nobody has ever started it. Why don't you establish yourself here and spread out your wings? And that very moment, meanwhile, that time I've already dashed out my things. I don't have anything. I was sleeping on the bare floor, but I don't even have much. That very day, I made a promise. I'm going to stay here, make a change that people need, and promote the state. And that is what I've been doing. Now, when I started, I tell you, it was not easy. Okay? I almost got discouraged. I'm telling you now the power of vision. Because the first person that patronized me, I think I had the intention of collecting 3,500. Guess what? Every material I bought in making a dress was about 1,600. And when she came to collect her clothes, she just squeezed 1,500 in my hand. I said, please manage it. Finally, I got paid us salary. Imagine. That day, I locked my shop. I went inside. I slept aside the phone. And I called somebody because I was so angry. I could not contain the hunger. I was just like, that day, I would have made up my mind to relocate to Lagos because that was so discouraging. It was my first time client. And I spent over a week making a dress. It was even a time for a TV. They want something big in Ekiti, but they don't want to pay for it. But I said, no, I'm going to stay. And I'm still staying. Okay? Yeah, let me quickly talk about funding. Funding is the provision of financial resources, often money, to support a particular project or business plan. I'm going to talk about funding just the last thing, because funding is just about you. Having a vision, having a business plan, and ability to be able to put money in actualizing your dream. Now, let's say how do you discover your vision? Reflect on your past. Just like I said earlier, I remember when I was small, I love fashion. I can, from my head to toe, I can put on a cloth of 1,500 naira, but I'll be looking so good. I just love fashion. I love doing it, and I was able to put it into my business, and it's working for me. Reflect on your past, examine your past experience, looking for patterns that reveal your passion, strength, and what genuinely motivates you. Okay? Do you know that you were empowered? God empowered you to become a creator. He created you, and He wanted you to replicate what you did in your life. A lot of people don't know this. That is why some people will start a business of Gary. Before you know it, they go into rice. Before you know it, they go into cassava and all that, because they did not really know what motivates them, what their passion is. How they can turn their passion into making money. Okay? If I don't make money in this business, I'm sure I will not be in business. It's not just about discovering your passion, how to turn it into business. Then, very quickly, because of time, I'm really trying to be fast. Then another thing is that brainstorm boldly. Write down 15 to 20 interests of your ideas to expand your horizons and explore possibilities. See, everything we have said here today, if you don't put anything down, it's not just about the lecture, it's about what you yourself know that you carry as a person. You are a carrier of grace. Do you know that? God did not make you empty. You are filled, like you have it. Okay? I want you to wake up when you get home. If you don't have anything, even the Bible says in Habakkuk 2, it said, write the vision down and make it plain. Okay? If you don't write it down, you will just be hearing about it and you will do nothing about it. It is something. It's a different thing to write something down. Then don't just write it down. Water it with prayers. Okay? I'm not just going to be talking on normal things. Without God, you cannot achieve anything. No matter what you have learned here today from the head to toe, if you don't put it before God, it is not going anywhere. Even if you start, frustration will pull you out. Yeah, I have been there. I experienced it firsthand. Okay? I've seen when I started the fashion exhibition, someone came to me and said, "What are you doing?" He said, "What I want to do in it is what you are doing." I tell you, both spiritually and physically, they haunted me. But because God was on my side, I told God, anytime I had challenges, I said, "God, Father, I did not send myself. This is to you. If I am put to shame, you are the one that is being put to shame." And I tell you, things will turn around. I think I have somebody in the house who has seen what I've been through. What is it I'm talking about? I see my church members around there. Who knows what I'm talking about? Okay, so let me quickly jump. Now, they've talked about so many things and all that. Now, when you have that vision, please put it to God. Then look for somebody who has been in the business. Not those that will hear your dream and be envious of you, that want to keep your dream, because not everybody you can share ideas with, they will just snatch it. But look for the people who are more matured to take to listen to you, then give you an advice. Because you need it. You can't just jump into anything. Then the fashion business I'm doing, this is another point I want to make from my own experience. So many fashion designers are in Ekiti State. In fact, almost every day we keep adding different designers. But you must have a more particular ingredient in your business that will always make people come back to you. There's a way I sew my dresses that if you want to adjust, you have to come back to me. Yes, you have to come back to me. And because my customers are always saying it, and I made them to understand, if you want to adjust any clothes, come back with another new fabric. So that, you must have a strategy. That is a strategy I made for myself. Because when you bring a new fabric, I will adjust your clothes. I will collect money on the new fabric, and I will also collect money for adjusting your clothes. That is a strategy, okay? Always have the key. Make a difference in your business. Don't just do it the way people are doing it, because you are not the only one. It's a competitive world. Thank you. So, let me say, consider a method, like someone who can lead in your desire vision, like I just said that. Then use books, read. Decide if you want to take things from an African man, just whatever you have, idea, just put it in a book. You don't read. Learn to read. Don't just go on social media and be seeing Vicky James and be saying so person. Also, what do you discover on your home? Even people don't read the word of God. Your life, your entire being like this, as you see yourself, is in the word of God. That Bible you carry on about. But we don't read. That is why we are confused. We don't see things. A lot of people say this and that. People not like this. They keep running like this because you are not determined. You are not focused. Okay? Too much distraction everywhere. But as a youth, if you discover yourself early, I didn't discover myself early. I discovered my business in my 30s. Okay? But I wish I had known earlier. Okay? So please, always make sure that you know what you're doing. Expose yourself to what is happening out there, like using for training programs. You are opportunity. So in some places, when they send people for programs like this, they pay each money. But here you have it for free. Please don't take it for granted.
So now, to be successful as an entrepreneur, I'm joking, there are so many points, but I want to make sure that I brush everything. You have to have the right perspective. Your perspective can either be your prison or your passport. Okay? So people in their life, they've already set a particular barricade. They don't want to go beyond it just because their parents don't go beyond it and they've already limited themselves. No, it's not possible. It can never be done. I've read it many times when I started my programs. Like I said, I told you I'm also the governor of Ekiti Young Fashion Contest. In Ekiti State, people have discouraged me many times. I had the 8th edition of fashion show last year, December. And I had the 3rd edition of Ekiti Young Fashion Contest. Why Ekiti Young Fashion Contest? All I wanted to do was to reach out to the youth who have been skilled in fashion line, but they don't have the capital to start. So what I did is that invite students, the young ones that have interest in fashion business, put a contest between them, like I have them about 10 to 15, to give them contest. They have to prove themselves. They will pick the 3 best and buy them sewing machines. Now, the last one we had last year, they were students of FUOYE. We empowered 3 FUOYE students. We gave them sewing machines and we gave them cash prizes. Now, that is what we did last year. And this year, we are not backing down because we are ready to do more. Changing our environment is the most. Do you know that it's not that I have millions of naira somewhere before I start anything I want to do. But when I make a move, God backs me up. Okay? When you don't make that move, you are not going anywhere. Stop listening to excuses. Stop looking at your environment to determine what you will do. If I should look at Ekiti State, I will not even be here. Most people see me online, they don't even believe I live in Ekiti State. They say you look like somebody that lives in Abuja or something. And I am from a very humble home. I told you when I started the 1st edition of it, I had just 120,000 in my account. But then I spent over 500,000 naira. With the help of people that came for free. I didn't think everybody collected money. I would have spent over 1 million naira. But now, in that event, sometimes I spend 5 million naira. Even if I want to start any project, I may just have 500,000 naira in my account. But when you are in a true vision, if you travel your path in the true vision of your life, I tell you, before you make any move, supply will be waiting. Yeah. God will not leave you because He created you for that purpose and He will not want to put you to shame. He will always back you up. Stay beyond school. Now you have the opportunity to start something. When we were in school, there was no entrepreneurship center. There was nothing like that. Okay? When I started, and now let me shock you. This business I'm doing right now, I don't have all that. Yes. The only opportunity I had, there was this NGO program people that came to Ekiti State. There was a woman in expo, somebody told me that she made her dresses by herself. But I had this, I just wanted to go into fashion, but I don't know why. I don't have this patience of learning under somebody. And this woman said, oh, there's this NGO program that she is also joining. I wanted her to help me so that she can put me throughout the course. That's what I needed. So I joined the program for just 8 days, 2 hours in a day, all joined, 16 hours. That was the only thing I needed. What were we doing? We were using paper, just paper to cut, how to cut blouse, how to cut skirts, and all, no machine, nothing. But I said, this, if I can put my mind on this thing, I can actually make money out of this business. What did I do? I was supposed to buy a generator, okay? But by the Spirit of the Lord just told me that, go and get a machine. I was on my way from my report to town. And immediately, okay, thank you. So immediately I got to that NNPC, that filling station, getting to Oye-Ekiti. I heard the voice, go to the market and buy a sewing machine. And that was all. What I did, thank God I'm not the party type. I know they go out, so I don't have friends. I had to make sacrifice. I dedicated myself into that business. I got magazines, got some fabrics, and used the little idea I had from that training that I told you, and I started training myself. 12 hours, I can be in the room, I will not step out. I may not even remember to eat, but I was so determined. I was so determined. See, before God can bless you, before God can bless that skill that you have, He has to see your inputs, your determination, your focus. This don't just happen. That's why some people will be heading on that, but they don't know how those people started. I started by making so many sacrifices. I tell you, I will be there struggling. If I don't make something out of what I want to make, I will not back down. And now, to the glory of God. And this last year, I was invited to the presidential leader to meet the
to the special advisor to the president on agriculture on how we can empower more youth in Ekiti State. In fact, I love it when I have the opportunity to talk to the youth because a lot of people are wasting away out there. A lot of people have already looked down on themselves. Even in Nigeria that you are talking about, that everybody is that mind, people are still making money. The salary that some people are making per month, I can make it in a day, not a month. I can show you my distance. It may not come like that every time. I will not be able to invest in the business. Look at me. If I go to people that I come and sponsor my event, the person is that now. Do you understand what I'm saying? Ladies in the house, if you walk up to a man, please come and sponsor my event. The next thing is that meet me at. Yes, these are the things that are happening. And things I did not do when I was in school, struggling, when I did not even have money to drink. Even I did not have money to pay my school fees. I did not do it then. I will not be doing it because of the event. I tell you, wake up. Wake up. Apart from all those challenges, there are so many other challenges that you will still face. But your focus, your determination, ability to stay true to yourself will keep you going. Then, above all, put God first. No matter what you do, let God be involved. Because challenges of life, you want to change your path. But with God, you will stand strong. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. On that, just give us like 30 seconds. Okay, thank you very much, DJ. There is no doubt the atmosphere was electrified by the presentation of Ms. Owojova, sorry, and I can see the excitement in our faces. But I still want to call on us to maintain the excitement because we have two more presentations which are very, very important. You know that leadership is one of the problems of our nation generally. So as an entrepreneur, you should try to know how to lead and take your business to the highest level possible. We have experts from a leadership academy who is going to make presentation, and then we have another expert from the health industry, and his presentation is going to be very, very interesting and inspiring as well.
Okay, receiver don't work plug. The receiver work plug. Your charger. The batteries again. The batteries. The plug is. big battery yẹn kọ́. Ìgbéná náà ti ní ti ẹ̀kọ́ Bímbọ́ nìkan ló wà àwọn ẹgbẹ́ ìpàdé ẹ̀ lọ. Òun wúlò ń gbèlè. National Congress. It's a program. Ṣé wọ́n ní
Kí ló but they don't do any more any presentation any of this camera.
Only support from the voice.
Hello? Okay. We are live now. Can we continue? All right, sorry for the short interruption, please, and we can continue now. So, like I said earlier, the program is just getting interesting, and we have 2 additional presentations. So please, let's pay attention to the next presenter as I call him to take over the stage. It is time to listen to Dr. Adetunji Omonijo, the CEO of Sunshine Global Medical Center, who is going to talk to us on the entrepreneur and her health. Okay, sorry, let me take it again. The next presenter is going to talk to us on mindset mastery, cultivating the entrepreneurial spirit, and that will be done by Prince Olaoluwa Adebi, the CEO of King David Leadership Academy. Welcome, please, a big round of applause as you take over the stage.
Thank you, Mr. Principal. I want to appreciate the organizers of this program. And particularly, I want to celebrate all the students in this space and entrepreneurs who have been here since morning. Please celebrate yourself. It's a great sacrifice for you to be here, and it shows that you are actually interested in getting to the place that you are already training or getting to. As I begin, a lot have been said today. I want to bring it to you that your future will not be what you want. Your future will only be what you become. The last presenter spoke specifically on self-discovery and unnecessary stuff. And the problem today of many entrepreneurs is the problem of self-discovery. Many of us, we have not discovered ourselves, and then it makes it impossible for us to become what we wish to become. I promised that I was going to engage my undergraduate story the other time. Before I gained admission to the university, I stumbled on the book written by Ben Carson, The Gifted Ends. While engaging the book, The Gifted Ends, I loved everything that Ben Carson was, and I made up my mind I was going to replicate everything that Ben Carson was. So I began on the dream of becoming a neurosurgeon. I wanted by all means to replicate the story of Ben Carson. Little did I know that I was not wired to become another Ben Carson.
Yes. Mi ò lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ torí kò sí owó tí màá fi san fún mi lọ́pọ̀ náà kò sí owó tí màá fi san.
And the lady will not allow me to get admission to
Èmi ó dẹ̀ di mọ́tò.
I applied the first time, the second time, and the third time. I did not make it. Then I opted for a quick arts in Athens.
When I did admission to the studying biochemistry, I did admission to biochemistry. Why studying biochemistry? In my mind, I was not going to first year showed the difference told about myself. At the beginning of the year, I started training my colleagues in tutorials and I was doing well. But when our first semester result came out, my first semester result was the shadow of the trainer I was. Things went from bad to worse. And when I got to final year, 100 level, my mates were graduating, but I could not go. I had 3 extra semesters because I wanted to become another master. I wanted to become another master. I remember the day I was going to be writing my final paper. I was struggling, I was frustrated with my life, and I walked to the people. I turned myself open to God, and I was asking God, I don't know the meaning of my life. There is no value in this life. I don't have any talent, I don't have any ability. So why exactly am I here? It was in the midst of that I had you are born to teach. I am born to teach. The following day, a spark, I don't know why there was a spark inside. I went back to my junior colleagues. I stood before the exams, I started motivating them. I spoke to them, encouraging them, motivating them. When I was done, they gave me my invitation. And one of them walked up to me today. She said, sir, we are the one that is supposed to be motivating, but you are the one motivating us. He said, I can see you are doing this. I never forgot that. And that was the beginning for me. When I left the university, it hit me hard that I don't have an option than to become the best version of what the teacher is. Not just the teachers I've always been. So I set up on this mission. I met the story I was saying the other time. I came out with an agenda. I wanted to start teaching in the university as an ad hoc program to be before the university. I met the Professor Olubunmi and he began to mentor me on what I can do to make it happen. So, cut a long story short, I couldn't make that, but that was the beginning of my story. Not long, I started a school of public speaking. As a side hustle, I was teaching in a school. While I was at it, building my own organization, I was working for another man, and I rose through the rank until I became the director of that. Beyond that, I took on myself to go for my further studies. When I went for my further studies, I didn't have background in education. I had no background in art. But guess what? As I entered the university for my postgraduate program, the same person that struggled 6 years trying to make something out of biochemistry, I came on top of my class. I graduated cum laude with my honors program. When I was doing my master's program, I wrote my thesis. My supervisor, I have 2 of them. They looked at it and said, what is this going on? You don't understand. I remember my supervisor told me, he said, I will be sending this out. This will see that this is what you want. But I don't know what will come out. When the 2 examiners engaged me, they wrote back, they gave me distinctions, and they wrote back to me that this work was done with much mastery. And this is someone who has no background in this. Have you considered a beach? Trying to learn how to swim? It doesn't happen. They just swim because the innate ability is inside of them. They have a capacity to make that happen. So they don't have to struggle to swim. But it becomes a misnomer. It becomes an abnormality. When you see a fish flying, it does not have the component of life. So as much as it tries, it fails. The more it tries, it will struggle until it dies. And that's the situation of many of us. We have not come to uncover ourselves. We have not come to discover ourselves. But because of the pain point, because of the need, because of the challenge, we want to transform ourselves into something beyond possible understanding what we are. Understand? But foundation for entrepreneurship is self-discovery. Without you discovering yourself, you will run another man's race and end in another man's race. Is that not your story? Yeah. But this is the reality. And that is why my guru said, the graveyard is the most sacred place on earth. Not because of the bodies of people that became in the graveyard, but because of dreams, because of hopes, because of aspirations for so many people that never made it to life. Because they never made it to life. You are here today. Not only be sitting there, locked up in the department of engineering or computer engineering or something, because you had a friend who wanted to study computer engineering, because you had a story of some people at Silicon Valley to make millions of dollars being an IT person. But if that is not your wiring, you will walk through life without being able to take it. So entrepreneurship is not just about the product. It's not just about the service. It's about who you are. And it is discovering your unique strength, your passion, your value, your purpose. That's actually gives birth to that entrepreneurship. The question to you is number one, have you found your spark? I am not talking about the lady that you are trying to walk around in your department or I'm not talking about anything that is trying to get your attention, like the class of roommates are driving. No, not that. What exactly is the spark that is driving you, moving you beyond the life? Number two. What is your plan? When my younger brother was getting admission to the university, I told him, I said, as you are going to the university, it was also a product of the university. I told him, as you are going to the university, on one hand, take the education. On the other hand, what you have discovered about yourself, develop it, grow it, make it shine. So while he was in school, on one hand, he was taking the education. On the other hand, he was developing his education. He graduated with 1.49, 0.01 minutes. But then, that was irrelevant to the story. While he was going for IT in 300 level, having discovered his passion, his mates were the ones that were called for hackathon. But the problem they wanted to solve, they could not solve it by themselves. So they reached out to him. Oh boy, please come and help us. We have a problem. He went for the hackathon, engaged the problem, helped them to solve the problem, and then when he got off stage, in his first hackathon that he engaged, he was the first one out. The second opportunity came immediately after that. He won the hackathon. That was where people began to get his number. He went back to school as a finalist, thinking, let me just go and write the exam. When I finish the exam, we go for service. When we are done with service, then we come back and see what is happening like. Guess what happened? The people that picked his numbers from others, while he was writing final exam, they were reaching out. Hello, we have an organization that is looking for you. We have dropped your number, and they reached out to him. The first organization told them, I want you to pay me 450,000. They looked at his picture, at his frame. But you are still in university. He said it is not certificate that you saw that made it to come. It is what I can deliver. The skill I have. They did not give me the job. Another organization reached out to him while he was still writing. It was in the middle of that. He had to tell them, if you want me, can you just allow me to finish my exam? If you finish the exam, he said, give me a month. He has not finished the exam. He finished the exam, he told the guys, give me a month to rest before I can come and pick. I'm telling you true life story. When he finished, while he was resting, they came back to him. There is actually a problem that we have, that we want you to help us solve. Please, can you help us? Just this one. They sent the problem to me. They were expecting results in 1 week. We delivered in 3 weeks. They were like, can we send another one? Give me. He has been it. By discovering himself, the overall best guy in the class, could not get a job before him. He was still the one through his referral that got the job for the government. So it's not about certificate. It's not about what. It's about who you become. What problem in the world is making people angry to act up? Somebody mentioned Elon Musk the other time. Elon Musk's idea was so crazy, so meaningless to people, even space engineers, rocket scientists. They were like, how can you be talking about reusing rockets? Nobody reuses rockets. It has never been done, it has never been had, and it could not make sense for what he wanted to do. But he was angry enough. He knew what he wanted to make out of life, and nothing was enough to stop him. What is that problem that your life is moving towards solving? Knowledge. You cannot innovate confidently if you don't know who you are. It is until you are secure in your identity. Think about it. I came to you today telling you I'm a teacher. How many of you in this place, in this gathering, wishes to become a teacher, even if you are studying education? You don't pray to become a teacher. Even myself, I have not been looking forward to my children becoming teachers after me. But the truth is this, I discovered myself what makes me feel, what excites me. It is not money. It is not anything else. It is impacting life. So whenever I have the opportunity, and by this discovery, you know that I was invited by the principal of one of my former schools while I was in secondary school to come and train my teachers. The teachers that taught me in secondary school, I went back to the school to train them and to show them a better way of teaching. In 2023, I don't know who nominated me to tomorrow. I won the Educationist Award for 2023. Not because I knew anybody, but because I discovered myself. So, I don't get competition. I don't chase validation. The only thing that drives me is impact. I consulted for a school sometimes 3 years ago. The owner of the school was a professor in banking and finance. And he told me almost about 7 or more times. He said, although I am a professor, but in this line of education, I failed. He said, I failed. But you, I don't know what brought you through. When you discover yourself, nothing becomes impossible for you. And that's why today, because of my interest in impact, we are going to be impacting some people. I've already picked the lady. When the lady showed up the other time speaking on motivation and discipline, I was wow. This is exactly what we are talking about. An undergraduate student. And we're going to be giving her a scholarship of 100,000. But beyond that, I still want to impact some people here. If you're in this place, it's coming out right now. I have one of my David Leadership Academy. I said the other time that some of our David Leadership Academy students are in FUOYE. We have 3 of them. And they are beautifully sponsored. Having undergone studentship. One of them will be coming here just to give us two minutes or less. 6 minutes or whatever you last to say to us. But then, before we go to that, I want to bring it to you. If you are here in this place, you came for entrepreneurship summit, entrepreneurship workshop. I believe something to you. You are here. You have your business plan. You have a comprehensive business plan. For whatever business you want to engage, and in this place, and you raise your hand. God is okay. We have one person not acting. Okay, Mr. Rusi, help me go to them. Help me recruit them. We are going to go to this. I've spoken with the entrepreneurship. We are going to come back. We will not be able to do whatever today. We will review whatever you have bringing to us, and then we will select something that we are going to invest in. We want to support the And then beyond that, the lady that won the 100,000 naira, we are going to be giving her a free training in the Federal Leadership Academy. Possible empowerment beyond FUOYE. The next thing I want to talk about is your mindset. I want to call Damilola to come on the Federal Leadership Academy. So, that is celebrating.
My name is Olubunmi Shittu. I'm a student of this great institution, and I'm your scholar at the Olubunmi because it was something very important. Before I go into this, I want to share a very quick story about myself and about who I am. So, first of all, back then when I was in SSP, there was this battle of scholars that was anchored by the leadership academy. And as a young student who loves to be, just want to do something like. So I decided to represent the high school in this debate competition. So I went and brought the glory. Out of 10 plus schools, I emerged as the winner. So after that, I became a legitimate student of KDLE. Thank you so much, sir. So I became a legitimate student of KDLE, and apart from that, I won cash scholarships, and in conjunction with KDLE and Honorable Dida Lolawekon Stephen, who happens to be the Director General of global content in Ekiti State, they took it upon themselves to fund my tuition fee throughout my stay in the university. So I'm telling you that I'm a product of their sponsorship. So fast forward from that particular day, I gained admission, although my goal was to become a medicine and surgery student. But as God would have it, I'm not a nursing. So fast forward to that particular day, I became a law student, and I knew that this is not hard to me. Then I decided to step forward. I feel like I can lead in this place. And to God be the glory, I serve as the governor of the honor student Federal level FUOYE right now, and I'm the PRO of FUOYE. Now, what am I saying? The reason why I could actually get for this is because of something I'm going to discuss with us now, and that's the power of mindset. So mindset is not just about how you think, it's about how you see yourself, it's about how you judge every other person, and how you judge the world. So today there are two types of mindset. We have the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. So the fixed mindset, they don't want to face challenges, they avoid challenges, they get satisfied early, any small thing, they are okay with it. But the growth mindset comes for more achievement. And that's why I've come to challenge you this afternoon. They are what comes for more achievement, comes for more achievement. You just change your mindset and you see your life, watch your life change so greatly. So this was my short speech for us this afternoon. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you for your God bless you.
Thank you for that. Entrepreneurs are not just problem solvers, they are leaders. And the first person you must lead is not other people. You will make mistakes if you want to lead other people if you have not first led yourself. And that's why we talk about personal leadership. And personal leadership is an offspring of what we call self-mastery. What does self-mastery mean? Self-mastery means being able to manage your schedules with respect to time. That's one. Another thing self-mastery means is being able to manage your emotions. Many of you, other people dictate how you act and react. You are not the captain of your life. Other people are the ones that direct the flow of your energies. Another thing about self-mastery is staying focused on your goals. Many of you, social media makes you a dream tattoo life. So as you move from Instagram, you go to Facebook, from Facebook to YouTube, and there is nothing important you are gathering out of those places. You don't have goals that are driving you, that you are working towards to make happen. Another thing is building resilience to bounce back from failure. There are 4 types of quotients. The one every one of us is familiar with is the intelligence quotient. But I've come to tell you, intelligence quotient is not enough for you to be able to succeed as an entrepreneur. For you to succeed as an entrepreneur, you need more than the IQ. You need what we call the emotional intelligence quotient. Apart from that, you need a social quotient. And the last one is the adversity quotient. In these days that we live, most students, most Gen Z, they don't have what is called adversity quotient. That is why on Twitter you see some people, they say they want to die, they are depressed, they are frustrated because they have not gone through what will make them big in their journey through life. So when you go into business, entrepreneurship is not for kids, it's for top people. You heard the story of Madame. She said she put up the program and she was expecting the people, and the person that she was partnering with pulled back. That's how it is. There is no time to tell us stories. If you don't get a hand on yourself, you cannot lead yourself. And if you cannot lead yourself, you cannot lead a business. So what must you do? Number one, know yourself. How can you find yourself? You need to read books. I will recommend some books for you. Number one, go and get a book written by Tim Lai, Why You Act the Way You Do. Number two, go and get a book, The Road Back to You. Number three, go and get a book, Why Become a People of Influence, written by John C. Maxwell. Those three books will help you in your journey towards finding yourself. Then on that, you must learn to journal, reflect, and ask for feedback. Number two, clarify your vision. Clarify your vision. Many people don't have a vision of where they want to be. We had a program in the Young Professionals Forum last month. Okay, earlier this month. And in that program, the simple question I asked was this. If you are here, you have the 50 years plan for your life or 50 years goal for your life, please raise up your hand. Only 2 people had it. And they won for themselves $100 in that meeting. Only 2 people out of a crowd like this won for themselves just because they have a plan, a goal for themselves. It is only a goat that does not have a goal. And they are not African goats. African goats have goals. You change them from there, they go back there. But why not you? Why will you not have a vision for your life? The next one is feed your mind. You need to read books. We brought a catalog of books. I thought I came to the university. We brought a catalog of books so that people will get there, pick a coffee, buy and read. And I discovered people sat down gently waiting for Fanta and for you to grow and become whatever your dreams are, you must read. You must feed your mind. You must attend workshops like this, and then you must learn relentlessly. Life will not give you what you want. It will never do that. It will only give you what you know and what you believe. Practice resilience. As a business person, there is one thing that is sure: you will fail. But you must not fail backwards. You must learn to fail forwards. Albert Einstein, while he was engaged in the project of producing the light bulb, he did the project 9,999 times. And the journalist went to ask him, why did you fail 9,999 times? He told him, he said, I did not fail 9,999 times. I only learned 9,999 ways that will not work in producing the light bulb. How many times have you failed? Some of you are killing yourself because you failed one course. Some of you, the business you started, you are crying because it died in your hand. I can't tell you how many times you have failed. But every time you fail, you must pick yourself up again. Surround yourself wisely. Somebody said, if you are the wisest person in your clique, know that you are the last fool in the clique. Who are the people around you? Are there people that challenge you? Are there people that push you to become a better version of yourself? Then master the 10,000 hour principle. If you want to master anything, whatever it is, whether fashion, in anything you find yourself, there is this principle of 10,000 hours. If you have not crossed over the 10,000 hour limit, you don't have any business calling yourself a master. You are still a learner. So what do you know? What have you learned? This workshop is not just about your acquiring knowledge. It's about your transformation. Your greatest innovation will not be a product. It will not be an app. It will not even be a business. It will be yourself. It is who you are going to become through this journey. So I urge you, discover yourself. Tell your neighbor, discover yourself. Say loud and clear. Number two, master your mind. Then number three, take action. Know this. Dreams without actions, they are just mere nightmares. And don't forget, excuses are the trademarks of failures. You are not one, and you will never be one. I said you will not be one. Get out there. Stop getting success. Chase purpose. Because when you know who you are, and you master how you think, there is nothing that will become impossible to you. There is no time to talk again. Get out there, create some. Thank you for the honor of addressing me. May this be the moment to begin your journey, not just as entrepreneurs, but self-aware, bold, and impactful change makers. God bless you. God bless you.
If we can do more, let's appreciate the Leadership Academy. Please, the students, we can move forward a bit. We can see empty chairs here. While we do that, please, DJ, give us a cool music.
Everybody, let's we need to stress ourselves. The greatness Nigeria today, and Nigeria today, educated Nigeria students. We want to share our tempo, and we know that we can dance very well. You can try to music, come forward. Just people. If you don't can try to music, come forward. And let's give it to the woman. If you don't can fight to music, like you music fight and dance. If you don't can fight to music, please come forward. Who said money? The money is available, but you don't can do that, come forward.
To dance. I'm not the one who said they don't know how to dance, you are the one who said it. Because they step forward, they make trials. So we hereby award them this their time. For the flyer, give you the airtime. Thank you very much. Then we move on to the next session.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much. We are almost getting to the end of the program, but you know, the best thing you can do when you have someone that offers value to you for free is to appreciate the person. And this is the time to present award of appreciation to our presenters. And I would like to call on the
greatest Nigerian students. Greatest Nigerian students. So this session quickly we want to award, give some of our speakers awards. These people have impacted the lives of our students. For example, this woman seated there, I think she mentioned it during her speech, but I have not been able to really speak about her. She has done us wonderfully well in FUOYE, especially in our directorate, the Directorate of Entrepreneurship. Last year, December, she organized a fashion contest, and some of our students participated in the contest, and fortunately, we came home with the first, the second, and what? And the third. They get them one sewing machine each, and 150,000 naira to the winner. The second, maybe she wants to tell us.
The winner of the fashion contest, we gave her a sewing machine and a cash prize of 150,000 naira. The first runner-up, we gave him a sewing machine with a cash prize of 50,000 naira, and the third position, that second runner-up, also had a sewing machine. And during the event, our judges also felt like the other ones should not be left out, and each of them were given 20,000 naira.
Appreciate her. We want to recognize her impact. We want to recognize what she has done for us in FUOYE. And so I want to call on Professor Adedini for the presentation of the award.
Okay, sorry. Before the presentation of the award to Busayo Owajoba, I would like to present her profile. Ma, I would like you to stand up and remain standing while I present your short profile. The profile of Busayo Owajoba, CEO, The Elegant Expertise Palace, Convener, Ekiti Fashion Renewal Contest. Busayo is the CEO of The Elegant Expertise Palace, a fashion house based in Ekiti State. Elegant, as she is popularly called, hails from Imure, Ekiti State. She studied accounting at the prestigious Ekiti State University. In 2017, she launched the first ever fashion event, Ekiti Fashion Exhibition in Oye-Ekiti State under her fashion brand, the Elegant Expertise Palace, which featured over 200 fashion designers showcasing their designs. The second edition of the show, which featured presentation of awards held in 2018, and it attracted numerous talented designers, models, and fashion entrepreneurs within and outside the state. The event has since grown to become an iconic platform for fashion entrepreneurs to showcase their designs, wares, and accessories in Ekiti during the exhibition and runway, which has become an annual event and has had 8 editions so far. Busayo Owajoba was appointed as a member of the technical committee of Ekiti Fest 2019. She was also appointed as a member of the mobilizing committee for the Ekiti Entrepreneurship Week 2019. Since 2020 till now, she has served as a fashion consultant and designer to the Ekiti State Ministry of Arts and Culture for the NAFES Fashion Competition, a prestigious annual event held across the Federation. Through her unwavering creativity and exceptional sense of style, Ekiti State has consistently excelled in the fashion category, earning national recognition. Among the 36 states of the Federation, including the Federal Capital Territory, Ekiti State came first position in 2021, first position in 2022, and second position in 2023, and reclaimed first position in 2024. Her outstanding contributions have not only elevated Ekiti's profile in national fashion scene, but have also affirmed the state's leadership in cultural excellence through fashion. In 2021, she was appointed as an assistant project supervisor of FADAN, Fashion Designer Association of Nigeria. Apart from being passionate about showcasing the genius of Ekiti fashion entrepreneurs to the world, Busayo Owajoba is also committed to giving back to her society and acknowledging excellence. Hence, she officially launched in the year 2021 Ekiti Young Fashionpreneur Contest, which have hosted more than 45 young Ekiti fashionpreneurs. Ever since, this avenue has been where young entrepreneurs contest through the quality of their products and are fully empowered as a form of encouragement. Sets of sewing machines, cash prizes, and a fully paid fashion store were given to the winners of the fashion contest, among others in all the 3 editions. In 2020, she was awarded by the Ariafe Babalola beneficiaries worldwide as the fashion designer of the year. Also at the Ekiti Future Award 2022, where she was recognized and awarded as the fashion designer of the year. Permit me to present to you Ms. Busayo Owajoba.
Thank you so much. Shows that we've done a lot, not just for students here, but also in Ekiti and even in Nigeria generally. But we are Oliver Twist. You've given a lot to our students, and so we look forward to having more of such extra. So, on behalf of the Directorate of Educational Technology, Innovation and Entrepreneurship, Federal University Oye-Ekiti, we'd like to present this award of recognition to Ms. Olubunmi Shittu in recognition of your immense contribution and support to the progress of the Directorate, specifically, and Federal University Oye-Ekiti in general. We would like to appreciate you so much this day, 19th of May, 2025. Congratulations.
Okay. Thank you very much, TJ. The next awardee for today is Prince Adebi David Olaoluwa, that is the CEO of King David Leadership Academy. But before then, I would like you to stand up and remain standing while I present a short profile. David Adebi Olaoluwa, BSc, M.Ed, MIICEP, MPSA, is the president of the Young Professionals Forum, Ekiti State Chapter. He is also the president of the King David Leadership Academy and director of Peace and Joy Group of Schools. At the King David Leadership Academy, they train mentors and empower. They currently have 3 students in FUOYE who are fully sponsored as a result of their studentship with KDLA. He obtained a bachelor's degree in biochemistry from the University of Oye-Ekiti, now Ekiti State University. Open self-discovery and a driving passion for teaching and impacting lives, he had a thought to take up a job as a teacher. He later obtained a postgraduate honors degree, that is B.Ed Hons Cum Laude, master's degree in educational leadership management and policy from the University of KwaZulu-Natal, Republic of South Africa. Finishing on top of the class, he is a fellow of the International Institute of Chartered Educational Practitioners, that is IICEP, and International College of School Administrators, ICSA. He has consulted and trained in various schools across the nation and beyond. He has written various academic papers and authored books in the educational parlance and delivered keynote addresses and seminars to various conferences and workshops locally and internationally, including today's program. He is a member of the Education Management Association of South Africa, EMASA, and Golden Key International Honor Society. He is a serving executive of the Association of Formidable Educational Development. In 2023, he was awarded Outstanding Educationist Award in the 2023 Ekiti Achievers Award organized by Chronicles Magazine. He is happily married and blessed with children, and most importantly, he is a child of God. Please welcome Prince David to receive his award.
Thank you so very much. Grateful here that you're a child of God and for the exploit that you are doing. Teacher of teachers, I call you, and seeing somebody who is very passionate about teaching, while several people run away from teaching. So, on behalf of the Directorate of Educational Technology, Innovation and Entrepreneurship, Federal University Oye-Ekiti, I hereby present this award of recognition to you, sir, Prince David Olaoluwa Adebi, in recognition of your immense contributions and support to the progress of the Directorate of Educational Technology, Innovation and Entrepreneurship specifically, and Federal University in general. And we are very proud of you, and we do appreciate you this day, 19th of May, 2025. Congratulations.
Right. We are going to continue with the program, and the next presentation is coming up from Dr. Monijo, titled The Entrepreneur and Her Health. But before then, I would like him to stand up and remain standing while I read his citation. Adetunji Omonijo, Dr. Adetunji Omonijo is a distinguished consultant, family physician with a strong academic background. He graduated with an MBCHB degree in medicine from Obafemi Awolowo University in 2008. Dr. Omonijo has further enhanced his expertise with postgraduate training, including a postgraduate diploma in public administration. Professional background includes a native of He's a native of Elisha, Osun State. Dr. Omonijo has established himself as a leading medical professional in Ekiti State. He serves as physician in charge, accident and emergency Federal Teaching Hospital Oye-Ekiti. He serves also as a medical director, Sunshine Global Medical Center. He is the CEO of Blessed Food Stores, Oye-Ekiti. Under his professional affiliations, Dr. Omonijo is an active member of several professional associations, including Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, Nigerian Medical Association, Intensive and Critical Care Society of Nigeria, Parasitology and Public Health Society of Nigeria. In terms of speaking engagements, as a sought-after speaker, Dr. Omonijo has presented at numerous local and international conferences, sharing his knowledge and expertise with diverse audiences. In terms of mentorship and community impact, Dr. Omonijo has made a significant impact through his mentorship programs, training, and guiding over 3,000 young people in entrepreneurship within and outside Nigeria. His personal life, Dr. Omonijo is blessed with a loving wife and beautiful children who bring joy and support to his life and career. Permit me to invite Dr. Omonijo for his presentation within the next 15 minutes. And then, all right, you have 10 minutes for the presentation, sir.
Well, for a doctor, 10 minutes is even too much. How many minutes do you give me in class? 5. How many minutes? Okay. The leaders are permitted 10 minutes. Please time me. When it's 7 minutes, give me a paper. Is that okay? Starting on the existing protocol, I appreciate the organizers of a program like this. My name, as you've been told, is Dr. Monijo Adetunji, and I'm a family physician, consultant. I'm the physician in charge of the Accident and Emergency Federal Teaching Hospital Oye-Ekiti. And I have